Hello, everyone. I want to say first and foremost, thank you for being here. I get to spend a lot of time in classrooms all across the country. Beautiful classrooms, classrooms with inspirational posters covering the walls, teachers greeting all the students by name, and even kindness pledge boards filled with student signatures. And yet, when I sit down and actually talk to the students, sometimes I hear something very different. They tell me about feeling invisible, about watching kindness happen all around them, but not necessarily to them, about teachers who believe they're creating inclusive spaces while students are experiencing something vastly and entirely different. And this disconnect isn't about being bad teachers. It's not it at all. It's not even about having bad intentions. It's about something far more subtle and often far more fixable as well. It's a gap between what we intend to create and what students actually experience. That's why I want to talk with you today about the four walls classroom audit that I put together. Now, this is a simple, systematic way to understand what's actually and really happening within the four walls of your classroom. Now, here is why this matters. Here's what we know from just simple research. When students feel safe, seen, and valued, extraordinary things happen. Engagement increases by over 30%, attendance improves, behavior referrals drop, and in some schools we've worked with by more than 60%. And perhaps most important above all is academic performance rises across the board. But here's the challenge. Kindness isn't something that we can just hope for. It needs to be engineered into the structure of our classrooms. And before we can engineer anything, we need to know where we're starting. We need an honest assessment. So think about it this way. If you wanted to renovate a house, you'd first need to understand the foundation, the electrical system, the plumbing. You need to see what's working and what's not. And the same principle applies to your classroom. We can't transform what we haven't first measured. And this brings us to the four walls framework. The four walls framework gives us a structure to assess kindness climate across four critical dimensions. Think of these as the four foundational walls that uphold your classroom community. So, to start, wall number one is recognition and support. This is about how acknowledgement and assistance is distributed within your classroom. Who gets noticed? Who receives help? And just as importantly, who doesn't? We often believe we're recognizing everyone equally, but sometimes the data tells us otherwise. And some students receive frequent, sporadic, and specific recognition, while others, well, they can disappear for a week and wonder if anyone even would notice. Wall number two is unity. This examines connections across differences about physical arrangement, communication norms, and belonging signals. This highlights certain things like, are there invisible barriers between student groups? Do seating patterns reinforce social hierarchies? Can students comfortably work with other classmates outside their usual friend circles? Unity isn't just about putting diverse students in the same room, it's about creating structures that genuinely connect them. Wall three is impact. This wall asks, do students have opportunities for meaningful contribution? Do they believe their ideas influence what happens in your classroom? Can they see how their work contributes to something larger than just their own grade? When students feel that they have agency and impact, they become invested in the classroom community in entirely different ways. Wall four is individual growth. This is about how we support personal development within our community. How do we handle mistakes? How do we measure progress? Do students feel safe taking academic risks? Are different learning needs genuinely accommodated, or are they just tolerated? Now, these four walls all work together. When even one is weak, the entire structure becomes unstable. So here's what the audit reveals. And to start this, let me share a quick story. I worked with an elementary school teacher, let's call her Miss Riviera. Now, she had a reputation as her school's kindness champion. Her classroom literally had everything that you would expect: recognition boards, community building activities, kindness quotes, literally everywhere. She was confident that she was creating an inclusive environment. And so we decided to test the audit on her classroom. Now, the results surprised everyone. While her recognition system was super robust, it was inadvertently rewarding only public performative acts of kindness while missing quieter contributions. Her seating arrangement, though super well intentioned, had calcified social hierarchies throughout the entire school year. And most troubling of all, there was a group of 5 students who reported feeling consistently excluded despite having all the classroom's kindness emphasis. Now, when we mapped the social network of her classroom, we could visually see the disconnect. We saw clear clusters with minimal cross-group interaction. Several students on the periphery, had few connections with their peers. Miss Riviera's first reaction was, heartbreak. But then something shifted. And she said, and I literally quote, "If I really value kindness, I need to care more about impact than intention. These patterns developed through systems that I created. That means I have the power to change them." And so what did she do? She did. And within 6 months, a follow-up audit showed dramatic improvements in connection patterns and inclusion experiences across all 4 walls. Now, the audit that I want to give you guys today is a simple audit that you can do. So what does this look like practically? Let me walk you through a simplified version of the 4 walls audit that you can implement right away. And there's a download link at the end of this. So let's first examine wall number 1, recognition and support. Ask your students questions like, "I feel recognized for my contributions in class." Then give them a simple scale: never, sometimes, often, always. Then ask, "When I struggle with something, I feel supported rather than judged." Look at the patterns. Are there certain groups of students that consistently answer never or sometimes? That's your data point for redesign. For wall number 2, unity, try these questions. There are students in this class I don't know well, but I would feel comfortable working with them. If any students are answering never or sometimes, that tells you something about the connection structures in your room. You might also ask, can you name someone in the class you'd like to get to know a little bit better? This reveals aspiration gaps, students who want to be connected but haven't found the opportunity. For wall 3, impact, ask questions like, "I believe my ideas influence what happens in this class, and I have chances to help make the classroom a better place for everyone." These questions reveal whether students feel like they have genuine agency or whether they're just passengers in your classroom. Wall number 4, individual growth. The key question is, if I make a mistake, I feel supported to learn from it instead of being embarrassed. This single question can reveal whether you've created a growth-oriented environment or whether fear or failure is limiting students' risk-taking ability. The beauty of this simplified audit is that it's anonymous, it's quick, and it gives you concrete data about the 4 structural dimensions that matter most for a kindness climate in your classroom. So I've created some downloadable resources, and here's what I want to leave you with today. I've created a simple, downloadable PDF that includes all of the questions that I just mentioned, in addition dozens of others that you can include. Each one of them is organized by each of the 4 walls. It includes both the core questions I shared and some additional prompts for deeper exploration when you are ready. The PDF also includes guidance on how to administer the survey to maintain anonymity and how to analyze the results. And most importantly, how to use your findings to redesign specific classroom structures. Because assessment without action is just interesting data. Assessment with action is transformation. You can download the 4 classroom audit with the link below. It's free, it's practical, and let me tell you, it works. And moving forward, I want to close with this thought. The courage to look honestly at the gap between our intentions and our impact, that's where transformation begins. It's not comfortable. Seeing data that challenges our perception of our classrooms, it rarely is comfortable, but it is necessary because our students deserve more than just good intentions. They deserve environments where kindness is structurally engineered into every aspect of their day, where recognition is abundant and not necessarily scarce, where unity is built throughout intentional design and not just left to chance, and where impact is genuinely possible for every single student. And last but not least, is where individual growth is celebrated and not just individual performance. The Four Walls Audit gives you the foundation to build that environment. It shows you where the walls are strong and where they need reinforcement. And most importantly, it gives you the data that you need to align your structures with your values in your classroom. So I encourage you, take the audit, look at it honestly and look at the results, and then begin the redesign work. Your students are waiting for classrooms where they don't just hear about kindness, they experience it systematically and consistently every single day. And so with that, I want to thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for the courage to assess, to learn, and to grow. And thank you for being that kindness champion and believing that kindness isn't just something that we hope for, it's something that we can actually engineer and structure into our day. So with that, let's get to work, be brave, be kind, and let's change the world. Thank you.